So it's not just folks like Mike Cernovich and that, what is it, GPS memo? What is that guy's name? The Charlie Kirk or what?
Turning Point USA.
Turning Point, and Donald Trump Jr. and Gavin McInnes. They're not the only people who are defending Donald Trump. Here is Newt Gingrich. And this is pretty precious.
That's quite the honor. Let me ask you though, how is this all going down? This Bannon back and forth at the White House, the president and his remarks. It was not just a tweet; it was a very clear, delineated statement. What's going on?
Well, look, I think, Neil. First of all, Bannon has an exaggerated sense of self-importance, and the news media, of course,
pause it for 1 second. I just want you to understand that was Newt Gingrich saying that Bannon has an exaggerated sense of self-importance, and that as the words came out of his mouth, they all just sort of looked back in shock as to who just said them. They couldn't believe they came out of Newt Gingrich's mouth. All right, continue.
Of self-importance, and the news media, of course, builds it up because it's exactly in the age of the Kardashians, the kind of nonsense that they love to fill time.
When was the last time you saw anything about the Kardashians? Are they still around?
Don't put this on Kim. God.
Here you go.
That they love to
pause it for 1 second too. You know why this is the age of Kardashians? We have a reality star in the White House.
Yeah, no shit.
Donald Trump, if it wasn't for the Kardashians, Donald Trump would still be just like the two-bit joke that he was in New York City pre The Apprentice.
That they love to fill time and space with. So they can run around and think about that as opposed to the largest tax cut in history or the most deregulation in history.
Pause it.
Or the
Incidentally, the Kardashians did about as well as anybody in the country on those tax cuts. Probably better than 99.9% of the people in this country.
best economic growth in more than 10 years.
But didn't Bannon feed this beat, Snoop, by saying this outlandish stuff?
Well, look, I think that Bannon thinks he's extraordinarily important. But the fact is, Trump had won the nomination without Bannon. Trump would have won the presidency without Bannon. And Trump has governed without Bannon. So I think there's an exaggerated sense of who Steve is. And I think, remember, this is a guy who got fired. So you have a guy who's been fired, who's trying to claim a bunch of things, which he apparently did not claim at the time. And I think you have to just say it.
Well, he's not trying to claim anything. I mean, there are tapes of him saying this contemporaneously before he was fired. It's, I mean, I don't think this is going to amount to much, to be honest with you. Although it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Bannon has supposedly broken with Rebecca Mercer. I don't know if that's just Bannon saying to Rebecca Mercer, say that you've broken with me. I'm okay with that. I don't know if that means that Rebecca Mercer and Robert Mercer are maybe, that's why they divvied up stuff months ago after Bannon was fired, which was like, you're going to go this way, I'm going to go that way, and you take the high road, I'll take the low road, and we'll meet somewhere else. I mean, so who knows where this leads? But I think it also, it's certainly, I mean, look, Steve Bannon, this stuff doesn't come out if Steve Bannon didn't want it to come out. He's savvy enough to know.
Steve Bannon did not have a wife that I could sleep with. That's
the problem. I could not make him heal.
Where's Tom Barrack's wife?
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos